Hi, I'm Matt with etrailer, and today we're talking about the Titan chains, tire chains with a rubber tensioner on our 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now we're going to have this on our rear axle as what the manual recommends, and this is going to be on tire size 265, 60, or 18. Now if you don't have that tire size, that's okay. This fits a range of different tire sizes. If you're unsure if it will fit or not, you can plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find what's going to be the best fit for you. This is going to be a great set of chains for you if you're looking for something to get you through those light snow and ice conditions, or you live in a state that requires you to have chains. What's really nice about these is they're really easy to get on because you don't have to get under your vehicle to make all those connections. But let's check them out. So we're going to have these roller links on top. And these roller links are going to provide you more of a smooth ride overall because they're going to roll over whatever you're driving. Now the downside to that is they're not going to have as much bite through ice and snow. They're also going to be made from a low carbon steel, so they're not going to be as durable as some other chains, but that's also going to make for a smoother ride overall because they're going to be a little bit softer. And they're going to be more low profile, so these are actually Class S. So if you notice when I stick my hand back here, I have plenty of space for these to sit next to our suspension. And we have this diagonal pattern. That diagonal pattern is designed to help give you more traction, not only for stopping or starting, but also for when you are making your turns. They give you a little bit more coverage over the entire tire itself too. They're going to come two to a set in this pretty light duty bag, which would sometimes be something bad to think about, but since these are pretty light duty chains, they should be fine. And the way these chains fold up into themselves, they actually get pretty compact, so getting them back into the bag really isn't too hard. Now if you are having some issues because when you are driving with them, they can pick up a lot of snow, debris, rocks, or anything like that, which can be a little bit harder to maneuver. If that's the case, then I'd recommend getting a small tote to keep your chains in. But overall, I think this is actually one of my top picks for roller link chains because they are really easy to get on. They come with that rubber tensioner, and they actually don't look too bad either. Now, if you want something a little bit more premium that's going to give you more bite through ice and snow, then I'd recommend some Koenig tire chains. A lot of those have square links on them, so they're going to give you that extra bite. But if you live in that state that just requires you to have chains and you're pretty confident about your tires anyways, then I think these will be fine for you too. If you are curious about the installation, because like I said earlier, it is a little bit easier to do, you can stay tuned and see how we did it. To start off the installation, I recommend grabbing some gloves. It's going to make this a lot easier. And if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend staying home and trying them out because you don't have to figure this out on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard. But what we are looking for is to make sure there's no damages to our links. Make sure everything's looking pretty good. And we also want to make sure this is in the right orientation. So this side, this is tire side, we want to make sure that's facing up. You want to make sure the side where you can see all your hooks is facing down. And in the center, we want to make sure that this isn't connected yet. So this should be separated and closest to us. Once you've done that, we can start putting them on. And like I said earlier, we don't have to get underneath our vehicle to make this connection, which I am a fan of. You might have to reach back there a little bit though, to make sure everything's running through properly. And just kind of make sure everything's even. While I'm down here, I'm going to make this connection on the bottom, running that block through that channel. And then I'm going to grab on either side of this and make these connections. And that connection is going to be behind our tire, but I just got to reach over here to make that connection. That's just going to be a hook and a link that come together and grab on. And from the front, I'm just going to grab either side, pull on it pretty tight. Make sure everything looks pretty even. And we're going to run these blocks through this channel up here. If you can, you might be able to run both of them through. Looks like I'm just shy of that, so I'm just going to leave it like this. From this point, I like to give everything a little snug test, and it's still loose, but that's why we have this rubber tensioner. The way we're going to put this on is in a star pattern. When you place these hooks on, I recommend doing the furthest ones apart and making sure that the hook is facing away from your tire. The most this will do is if it is facing your tire, it could scratch anything up. I doubt that it could puncture anything, but I still wouldn't risk it. And sometimes these hooks can fall off. All you have to do is pick it back up, make sure that larger opening is around your rubber tensioner itself, and then you can use it like before. Once you have both sides on, you can give it another pull test. Make sure everything feels pretty good still. And if it does, I recommend either pulling forward or back some to make sure everything's staying seated well. And if it is, you can take it on the road. But that's just a look at the Titan Chains tire chains on our 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Thanks for watching.